Hey, hi, hello, welcome. I have not vlogged in such a long time because I've just been super busy, but I genuinely miss it. So we're gonna do a weekend reading vlog. Okay, that is much better. I just called it a weekend reading vlog. I'm most likely going to do a whole week. It's Friday right now, and I'm probably gonna go until like Thursday or Friday of next week. If you can't tell, I am getting over a cold, so my voice sounds a little bit funny right now. What am I reading right now? So I don't have an audiobook because I finished my audio yesterday and I decided to focus on my physical book. My physical book is The Art of Prophecy. If you've been sticking around my channel the past like 2 months, you know this has been on my TBR for a while. I've been really wanting to get to it, and I just have been busy with other books that I needed to read. I am officially over 80% through it though, so I'm gonna try to knock this out pretty much right now. I'm definitely finishing it today because I think I have less than 100 pages left. Next, what I'm going to be reading is The Atlas Paradox. I got the gold edition. I went into the store expecting to get the white edition, and this was all they had. So I kind of didn't have a choice. The only difference is the gold edition is the Barnes & Noble edition, so it has like a short story at the back. Yeah, it's like less than 10 pages of a short story. It's quite short. And I think it might be connected to the Atlas Paradox. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not going to be reading this in this vlog because I want to do a dedicated reading vlog for the Atlas Paradox. So I'll be reading it this week during this vlog, but I'm going to be vlogging it separately. I got accepted for an ARC today. It's for S.A. Chakrabarty's book that's coming out in 2023. Absolutely want to pick it up and just read it right now. I'm trying to remember the title. The Adventures of Amina al-Sarif. Might be saying that last name wrong. Serafi, that's probably what it is. But it's long. Oh, it's only 400 pages. I don't know. I guess I thought it was gonna be longer than that. But I think I'm gonna save that because I'd also like to do a vlog just for that book. The next thing that I need to read off of my shelf is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. Audiobooks. Where are we at with audiobooks? I have quite a few checked out from my library, so I need to read The Secret History by Brandon Sanderson, but that's a really short book. I think it's like 100 and something pages, so the audio is going to be super duper short. I have Arcanum Unbound, so it says it's 23 hours. I am going to do a couple of the other short stories, but I'm not going to do all of them. And then I'm most likely next going to be doing Pet, and then if I have time I'm going to be listening finally to The Liar's Knot. This book has been out almost a year at this point, and I got the ARC for it, so I had it even before it was published. I've had the ARC over a year, and I feel so embarrassed because I got the ARC for book 1 and I loved it and I read it on time. I rated it 5 stars, and then I got the ARC for book 2 and I was so excited, and then I never read it. So I'd really like to get that at least started, even if I don't finish it. What's going on with the rest of me? Today, there's a lot of like cleaning and maintenance I need to do around my apartment. So I'm gonna be doing some of that while I listen to audiobooks. And then tomorrow, my work is participating in an Alzheimer's walk. So we raise money, and now we're going to do the walk part of it. And me and my mom are both participating in the walk part of it. So my mom doesn't work with me, but my work opened it up to families. And so we will be going and doing that together. That's like first thing in the morning. And then after that, we are going to go pick up some paint and we're going to go paint my porch. Let me show you what that kind of looks like right now. So this is my porch. It used to have carpet on the floor, and we pulled that up, and it has a little area over there that's just rocks. And we pulled that up and it's just concrete. So we're going to paint that, and then this is what the wall looks like, and we're gonna paint that as well. So I have some samples picked out, and what I think I'm gonna be going with is on the wall, I want to do this vining ivy color. So it's going to be like a blue-green color, and eventually the idea is I might paint a sky mural on one of the walls. And then for the floor, I'm gonna be going with this perfect taupe. It looks more gray on camera than it is in real life, but it is kind of like a gray brown. It's a taupe color. We're going to start that. I don't know how far we're going to get. I think I want to do the walls first. Like I really want to get that floor painted because it's just ugly and it's horrible to look at. But I feel like if anything drips or spills, then I'd have to paint over it anyway. So it makes sense to me to start with the walls, which we power washed a few weekends ago, but I feel like the power washer didn't work super well. So it might need to be like cleaned a little bit, but we can't get it wet before we paint it. So the good news is I live in Florida and it's still like 80 degrees outside at all times. Everything will dry really quickly. Sunday, my day is clear. My day is free. I'm not planning on posting a video this week on YouTube. Instead, I think I'm going to try to sprint next Friday. So I don't even have to worry about like editing a video this weekend, which would be super nice. Well, I look a lot different and it's a lot later because guess who almost got a migraine? I could like feel it coming and I was like 30 pages away from finishing this book and I did everything in my power to keep it from coming. And it's hours later now and I have finished and the migraine hasn't like gone in. I still have like that feeling right here, like it's about to start, but it hasn't moved into a migraine. I have been taking it easy today. I haven't done any of the chores or any of the cleaning up around the house that I wanted to do. Finished this, which I loved, and I'll talk about in a second. And then I went downstairs where it was really dark and I put old episodes of The Office on my iPad and kind of like put it out of my vision and just like listen to them in the dark because I couldn't do much else and I didn't want to focus on something, but I wanted something entertaining going on. I finished this book finally and I loved it. I loved it so much. And from the beginning, I knew I was going to. I pretty much knew from, I want to say it was the first chapter, that I was going to rate this book a 5-star. And I did. It's one of the highest books, if not the highest book that I have read this year. I'm so frustrated that it took me so long to read, but that was simply because, like I said, I just had other books that I had to read for book club or buddy reads or whatever. So I started this, I think it was like August 31st, and as of right now, it's November 4th, and I finished it. But it's fine. I loved it, and I had such a good time, and I'm really glad that I took my time reading it when I could, instead of just like pushing through it. What is this book about? So we're following 4 different characters, one of which is the prophesied hero of the realm who is going to save his people from this immortal Khan who is trying to kill them all. And one day, when the prophesied hero is still a young boy in training, the immortal Khan is killed. And everyone in the realm realizes that the prophecy was fake. And so this woman who was sent to gauge whether or not he was a high enough student in his martial arts training basically kidnaps him because the government doesn't know what to do with him and there's talk of assassination attempts, and she hides him in this school as this like peasant boy. So we're following both of those 2 characters. She is this amazing war arts, martial arts, she has magic, abilities, amazing person. She also has only the ability to use one of her arms, which was really great to see her just be this incredibly strong person and have a disability at the same time. The other 2 characters we're following, one of them we follow through most of the story. She is the Immortal Khan's best friend, and after the Immortal Khan has died, she is supposed to commit suicide to return the soul to one because she carries a part of his soul. She decides, though, that it is her destiny to find the next immortal Khan. And so she decides, instead of doing that, she goes off into the realm and tries to find the next person to be the hero, who's gonna fight against this prophesied hero anyways. And then the 4th perspective, who is in the blurb, which was really funny, but she doesn't show up until page 250, 300, is this insane assassin. She, like, there are things that are not connecting great in her head, but she was so much fun to read and so enjoyable to hear what she had to say. And basically she's hired to track down the prophesied hero after he gets kidnapped and taken away because the government wants him. First off, we're following 3 amazing, strong, wonderful, beautiful women. They are fantastic. Second, it's an Asian-inspired fantasy world, which I really enjoyed reading from. It felt so unique and so original. The way that the magic was entwined wasn't super important, super relevant to all of the society, but it was enough that it was like these great little moments of fantasy, but the world was just fantastic to read. The characters were fantastic. Everything about this book was fantastic. I will not be able to stop talking about this book. It will be one of my favorites of this year, which is really interesting because when I was reading, I glanced at the back at one point. First off, it's by Wesley Chu. I will absolutely be checking out other books by him. He wrote a book that's in the Walking Dead universe, which I really enjoyed the Walking Dead graphic novels. So I absolutely want to check out his novel that takes place in the Walking Dead world, but it takes place somewhere in Asia. It's published by Del Rey. And for whatever reason, this year I have been really paying attention to books that I have been loving, and quite a few of them were Del Rey published. I haven't in the past ever noticed that Del Rey is in my favorites. I enjoy their books. I read a lot of their books. I find them interesting. But a lot of times my favorites come from Orbit or Tor, which, let's be real, they're like basically all owned by the same company anyways. It doesn't mean anything. But I have noticed this year repeatedly favorite books of mine have been published by Del Rey, and I have started actually seeking out other Del Rey books because I'm really enjoying it. And you know what? I have not been enjoying many books this year. I think I looked back last month sometime at how many books I had rated 4.75 or 5 stars, and it was less than 10, which is like unheard of for me. I usually rate like a couple of books 5 stars every single month. I enjoy giving 5 stars. I enjoy reading. I'm gonna do it. And for whatever reason, this year, it hasn't been working. The very few 5 stars I've had are from Del Rey, that I'm absolutely seeking out Del Rey more often. Anyways, that was a nice little rant. If you like epic high fantasy, absolutely you have to check this book out. So good. So fantastic. I cannot wait to read the sequel. I don't know when the sequel's coming out. There's nothing online about it. This one just came out and like less than 1,000 people have read it on Goodreads. So I might have to send Wesley Chu or Del Rey an email and be like, please, 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 please be writing a sequel because this is the best book I've read this year. And I need to keep going. I need to keep going, especially because there was a new POV as the epilogue, and I'm thinking that character will have a POV in the next book, and I'm really excited to see more of that character. Happy Monday. My weekend was crazy. I did not expect it to be as busy as it was, but it's pretty much all good. My legs hurt today after working on my porch, and my porch isn't finished yet, but a lot of progress has been made. I also started and finished Pet. So it was pretty short. I started it yesterday and I finished it like this morning before work. I got up and marathoned it. I went into it expecting to really like it, and then I didn't love it in the beginning. And so as I was listening to it, I wasn't expecting it to turn around, and it 100% did. Like when I started, maybe the first hour, I was like, 3 stars. And my goodness, the second half at least, if not even less, was so powerful and so impactful. It was 5 stars, absolutely 5 stars. I will be thinking about this book for a long time. If you're not familiar with Pet, it is a story about this utopian society where our young character, who is a young girl, magically awakens this monster out of her mother's painting. And the thing that's weird about that is they live in a society where monsters no longer exist. And this monster says to her that they need to hunt down a bad person, a monster in society, and that the monster believes that someone in their friend's house is a monster. Now, Pet, the monster that is like doing the hunt, is monstrous looking, but is not a monster in personality, right? Like I'm trying to explain the difference, whereas the person they're trying to hunt down is a human being in looks, but is an absolute monster. So in this city, like I said, there are no more monsters, there are no more like bad people. And so our main character like doesn't know what to do, doesn't even know what to look for, doesn't know any of the signs. And that was really where the book got me. It was this conversation about when you say that there are no more monsters, you open up a world where people no longer know how to find them and no longer know what red flags are. I am a huge believer, in if you catch the bad guy, you take care of the bad guy. I cannot stand the people who will sit and be like, oh, we can't kill the bad guy because that'll make us just like the bad guy, just as evil as the bad guy. Like, stop. That's not how it works. It's not. First off, bad guys making decisions to hurt innocent people, and you're making a decision to stop someone from hurting innocent people. Anyways, there's a lot of nuance and there's a lot of discussion behind that whole entire argument. And I think this book brought forth a lot of really good arguments, both sides of that argument. And it made me realize that I only believe that way because I believe that we live in a broken system. And if I thought that we lived in a whole, a perfect, a good system that could rehabilitate people accurately and successfully, that I wouldn't believe that for 1 second. But the fact that I believe that we should kill the bad guy when we catch the bad guy, metaphorically speaking, is because I don't believe that we live in a world or in a society where true justice or true redemption will be allowed for them. So the book had a lot of great things to say, and I was impressed. I was really impressed, and I rated it 5 stars. And I'm so glad because last month sucked. If you haven't watched my wrap up, I didn't rate a single book over 3.5. And as of right now, it is November 7th, and I've rated 3 books 5 stars. So excited. I then picked up Secret History, the Mistborn novella, and I thought I was going to have like a pretty chill day today at work, so I thought I would be able to listen to it. I listened to 1 chapter, and then I had to like refocus on work, and I just never put it back on the rest of the day. That's fine because I do think that I truly want to like really focus on what's going to be happening, because I don't want to say anything about this book because it's major spoilers for more than just Mistborn. But it's dealing with the understanding of a lot of concepts that are going to be throughout the entire Cosmere. So I feel like I need to give it my full attention when I'm listening to it. So it'll be a book that I listen to on like my walks and chores and stuff, and not when I'm at work kind of half listening. So I think I might have to pick up another audiobook for when I'm at work if I'm free, or just keep listening to music like I've been doing. Another hurricane is coming. We kind of knew about it a little bit yesterday, but not much. And then today it's coming, and it's big and it's bad. So I'm off of work the next 2 days, which is fine by me because I haven't been able to read much because I've been just so exhausted. My goal is to sit down and marathon The Atlas Paradox, which I'm not reading for you guys. I had a horrible night last night. I was awake from like 12:45 until a little bit after 2 a.m. with just like intestinal pain. And I've had that kind of pain before, like at that level. Like it is so severe that I was worried the first time that my intestines had like knotted up or blocked, but it eventually passed the first time. And then the second time I was like, well, I'm not too worried because I've gone through it before and it's been like months. But I was awake, and so when I woke up at 6 a.m., I was not feeling it, but I went to work and I had some doctor's appointments today, and I'm really tired right now, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna do tonight. And the good news is I finished Secret History today. It was amazing. It was so good, and I'm actually going to continue and read some of the other books in the Arcanum Unbounded. I always want to say Arcanum Unbound, and I don't think that one's the name. So the ones I'm looking at reading, which I don't know if I'm going to be doing them this week or later, I'm on the fence about The Emperor's Soul, and I'm on the fence about The Hope of Elantris, because I did not like Elantris, so I'm like, why would I read the novellas that go along with it? I'm probably going to read The 11th Metal, and I'm probably going to read, maybe, I'm on the fence about Allomancer Jack and the Pits of Eltania, just because I went and looked at reviews for that one and they were not high. But I absolutely will be reading White Sand, Shadow for Silence in the Forests of Hell, Sixth of the Dusk, and then I'm on the fence about Edge Dancer. I'm really on the fence about Edge Dancer because it's this Stormlight novella, and I love Stormlight, but the novella is about the one character, the literal only character in all of Stormlight that I can't stand. I like every other character in Stormlight except her. So I've been told that it's a really good book and I'd probably enjoy it, and that it gives you a lot of background as to why she's the way she is, but I don't want to do it. Secret History, 5 stars. I loved it. If you're a fan of Mistborn, highly recommend it. You do need to read all 3 Mistborn books before you start this one though, and it doesn't hurt to have read Stormlight through Rhythm of War. You absolutely don't have to, because he wrote it before Oathbringer was out, I believe. But there's some theorized crossover, so I don't know whether or not it's true. I really liked having the story. I'm still not telling you guys what the story was about because it is major spoilers for more than just Mistborn. It's spoilers for all of the Cosmere. But if you are reading any part of the Cosmere and you have finished Mistborn, absolutely I recommend reading it. It was so good. And I also think it helped me understand a lot more about the Cosmere as a whole. It's going to continue to help me understand things as they continue in Stormlight specifically, but also whenever he decides to write the sequel to Warbreaker, Secret Histories helped me understand a little bit of what's going to be going on there. It did make me a little sad reading it though, because it was so amazingly good, and it just made me miss feeling that way about books. And I haven't loved the last few, like I've really enjoyed the last few Brandon Sanderson I've read, but I haven't absolutely loved them. So reading one that I like fell in love with made me kind of miss that feeling. But you know, I don't think Era 2 Mistborn is doing it for me like the first time, and I think that's kind of what I'm feeling mostly, is just that I'm just not feeling satisfied like I was. I am like really close to finishing my rewatch of The Office, so I'm gonna go do that, and I'm going to have my first meal of the day because I've been worried about my digestion, so I've only had like 2 really small snacks earlier, but they have both passed fine, so we're gonna sit down and have a small meal, and if that's fine, then I'll eat until I'm full. Oh, what's my next audiobook? If I don't do those, I will be starting The Liar's Knot. I actually started the ebook because I got the e-arc almost a year ago. So I started the prologue in chapter 1 while I was waiting in one of the doctor's offices today, and it's so good. It's so good. But if I decide that's my next audiobook, because I have the audio as well, I'll talk more about what that's about and what's going on with it and how I'm feeling. later. Good morning. It's Thursday morning. It looks dark. It is storming out. I didn't vlog yesterday, but I painted and then I saw family. I'll have to show you what I painted either after this clip or like on the side. It'll depend on how I format it. Anyways, it was really fun and it was really relaxing, but that means I didn't read any of my physical book. Yikes. I'm hoping to read some of the Atlas Paradox today, but no promises, I guess, because apparently I'm just not in the mood to physically read. But I did listen to my audiobook, so that was really great. I think I listened to like 45% of The Liar's Knot. And gosh darn it if I could tell you what this book was about. I'm really lost and really confused in it. Like, I'm having a good time. It's an enjoyable book, but there are so many characters. And then on top of that, there are so many characters who are pretending to be other people. And then there's kind of not a plot. I even like went on to like my library app because I'm listening to it on Libby, and you can like pull the book up and you can read the summary right there. And the summary was not a plot. It was just telling you who's in the book. Things are happening. I just don't know how they go from thing to thing to thing or how they're connected. What we've got is we're mainly following three of our characters from book one: Gray, Vargo, and Ren. And Ren has basically accomplished her dreams, except for some reason now she has to do other things. I'm really lost, guys. I'm really lost. Vargo is, what is he doing? He's trying to join this secret society, and Ren's trying to figure out why he wants to join the secret society. So they're both joining the secret society together. I don't know why they're trying to join the secret society. I don't know past that. Gray, on the other hand, got nothing. I got nothing, guys. I have listened to 45% of this book. That is 10 hours. I listened to 5 hours yesterday on ×2 speed, and I can't tell you the plot of this book. I don't think there is one. If I were to take a quiz on this right now, I would fail. But also, like, I don't totally think it's me. I think the book is confusing. I remember feeling in the first one that it was confusing and long. The chapters are like over an hour each. Oh my God, I can't stand that. That's my biggest complaint. And I remember in book one being confused because there's so many characters and there's so much going on that it's hard to like keep everything straight. But that was my only complaint in book one. And this one, I don't think it's that I can't keep it straight. I think that it's kind of lacking a purpose in the book overall, or it has a purpose and it's just not making it clear to me, the reader. I'm gonna try to have that finished by tomorrow so I can start another book tomorrow. But looking outside, we were supposed to get hit with Hurricane Nicole, last night at some point. And I woke up this morning and it's storming out. And I went on my radar and she hasn't hit us yet, which most likely means that once she hit landfall, she slowed down, which really isn't good news because yes, it means by the time she gets to me, she'll be a lot smaller because when they go over the water, they suck up water and they get stronger. But when they go over land, they get smaller. But if they slow down over land, that means whomever they're over the top of gets tons of damage. So it's looking like from the radar, she's gonna hit pretty much at any point from now until like, oh my God, like midnight tonight. So I don't know if I will have work tomorrow or not. It's all gonna depend on what she does, how slow she goes. And I don't know, like I can't tell you that I'm safe because we haven't even gone through it yet. I wish I could show you the radar, but it's having a really hard time loading right now, so it just kind of looks like that. But you can see that giant yellow thing is Nicole. Okay, here we go. Is this one gonna load? It still has that weird box on it. So this is like later in the future. This is where I'm at right now. That giant yellow thing still has to go completely over me. My phone is predicting most likely she'll hit around 10 and it's 7:45 right now. I'm probably gonna sit and paint for a little bit longer. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really feeling that. And I don't mind giving up physically reading for a little bit if I'm loving my passion. Hey, I have been kind of crazy since Thursday, really, and haven't had much time to talk or vlog at all. So on Friday, as you saw, my brother and his wife decided to renew their wedding vows on their 5-year wedding anniversary. That was a really fun time, and a lot of family came into town. So we had family here Friday and then a little bit of Saturday. And then Saturday, I was working on a commission that I have, and I'm pretty happy with her face, but her body needs a lot more work. And then I haven't read any more of The Liar's Knot because I decided, oh, it's starting to rain out. I decided to pick up the audiobook for Dance of a Burning Sea, which, let's see how far I am. I haven't even touched the physical book. I'm probably gonna sell my copy, to be honest, because I'm not loving the book and I own the audio, so if I ever wanted to reread it, I would reread it with audio. So this is how far I made it. It's probably gonna be like a 2.5 star. The book's not bad. It's just the world building is so poor. There are so many concepts and things in this book which are really cool, but the author doesn't introduce them until they're needed. And so I'm not even aware of like what our main character's magic can do, because it seems to be able to do whatever she needs it to do in that moment. This is the sequel. I remember book 1 being lost and confused, and I thought, okay, well, the world building will just be explained more. In book 2, no. Now there's even like more and bigger and grander places that we can go to, and I still don't know how any of them work or are connected or how much is actually out there. Like, they just brought up these giant cannibals, and I'm like, of course, now that you need them, they're real, but up until now, they didn't exist. So it's a fantasy romance, and I'm just not believing or caring about the romance or the main 2 characters, so I'm struggling through it. And I think I would still read book 3 because I think I would like that character a lot more, and I think that would help me, because I rated book 1 4 stars, I think. It might have been like a 3.5. Oh, maybe I will keep this one so that I'll have the whole collection. I don't know. The next one doesn't come out until like February, I think. I want to end the vlog here. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what I end up rating Dance of a Burning Sea. I will talk about it in my wrap up. I will talk about The Liar's Knot in my wrap up if I ever finish it. I'm considering DNFing, not because it's bad, but simply because I am so lost, and I'm considering DNFing this one, but I'm like 2 hours left. Like, I can do that. Hopefully this Friday, I will have my video for the Atlas Paradox out. I'm rambling. I don't need to hold you guys here hostage anymore. So thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let me know down below what you are currently reading. By the way, I did make it through the storm perfectly fine. I lost power for like an hour, and that was it. And then I went to work on Friday. And this next coming week is going to be crazy at work. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.